Hi, Shalloners. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about something that you guys have asked me about a bunch and something that I, as a grown-ass boss bitch, still, wrestle with in terms of dating, which is when you go on a date with a guy, who pays? And how do you handle it when the check comes? This gives me anxiety just thinking about it, and I know that it does for you guys. So let's do a deep dive. But first, just want to remind you guys that if you have a love question of your own, find me on the Instant Go app and click chat. My username is ShallonXO and click chat and I'll get back to you. And also be sure you watch this video all the way through because I'm doing my new thing, Happy Endings, where at the end of the video, I give you guys a really cool sex tip and I think you're really going to like the one today. It's about penises. So tune in. Okay, paying for the date. I want you guys, before I get to my answer, let's go into the date. Picture it. You're there. You're about to walk in a cheesecake factory to meet the guy, because all dates should be a cheesecake factory because it's amazing. I want you to stop and I want you to visualize what you look like, okay? What are you wearing? Let's say jeans and a nice blouse. Figure out how much that costs you in your head. Do you have shoes on? Probably. They're probably nice heels, right? Like you're probably not shuffling in there in Crocs or Converse, right? You're not. Think of how many pairs of shoes you do have to go with your various different outfits that you have so that you can look nice, feminine, attractive, and presentable. What's your hair doing? It's probably not just like up in a bun, right? It's probably down. Maybe you've curled it. What do you use to curl it with? Curling iron? A nice one? Nice ones are expensive. They're like $100, $120, right? Do you have product in your hair? You probably are wearing like the nice product in your hair, and you probably use the good shampoo too. You probably didn't use one of those 2-in-1 Axe tubes from Target, right? Like you probably have a nice shampoo and nice conditioner. Do you get your hair highlighted? Do you get it professionally cut? Do you get it trimmed regularly? Maybe you even got a blowout. That's a lot. Now let's go back to the outfit. What are you wearing underneath the outfit? Underwear, right? Probably the nice ones, like the Victoria's Secret ones, maybe even Hanky Panky, Cosabella, and on up. How about a bra? How many bras do you have? They're expensive, huh? Think about just even your skin. Do you get spray tans? Maybe not. Do you use like a nice hydrating lotion, a nice body scrub, a nice loofah in the shower? How about your perfume? It's probably not some ratty stuff from the drugstore, like a body spray, but even if it is, add that up. If it's from Sephora. And speaking of Sephora, let's go to the face. You're probably wearing makeup. Did you ever get a facial? Have you bleached your teeth? Did you get your eyebrows threaded? Maybe your mustache waxed off? Do you have eyelash extensions? Girls who are a little bit older, do you have Botox? Lip injections? Do you do contour? Are you taking classes to learn how to do your makeup? My point is, you have already paid. You have already paid. When you show up for that date, what guys don't see is the back end that goes into being a girl. All the behind the scenes, razzle dazzle, and production. They just see this beautiful finished product, poised, intelligent, sexy, alluring, confident, a good conversationalist, smart, politically aware. Everything that I listed just now, like all those things that you're wearing, that is just the physical. What I listed with all those character traits, that costs other money. Are you in college? Do you have student loans? Do you take classes to diversify yourself? That costs money too. I am not a clearance rack bitch. If a guy's looking for a bargain girlfriend, it ain't me, sweetie. They're out there. Oh, they're out there. I'm not her. And I dare say if you're in this video, you're not her either. And a lot of people are probably gonna be like, well, Shallon, it's, I'm into equality. Cool, I'm not. You know why I'm not into equality? Because we aren't equals in society, men and women. We are equals in here. We are equals here. We are equals under the eyes of God. We are not equals under the eyes of the law, though, right? We're not equal under the eyes of our current president, of our new Supreme Court justice. We are not treated equally. And the sooner you accept that, ladies, the better your life is going to be. The game is being played. You choosing to opt out of it or ignore the fact that it's going on doesn't mean you win. It means the game crushes you. And other people who don't have your best interest at heart, they win. And I don't like to look at life as a game. Of course not. I think it's a very like predatory way to look at things and situations, but we do have to be aware that things aren't equal for us in society. Men aren't getting raped. I mean, you know, they're not getting sexually harassed. They're not making 75 cents on the dollar to what we make. And I remember someone telling me that when I was in college, like women make less for the same role. And I'm like, okay. I wish that I was right. I've never hated being wrong more in my life because it's true. Sexism is like racism. It's so quiet. It's so quiet that it's not like a poster that goes up in the office or in your classroom being like, hey, we don't value girls around here. You know, it's not gonna be like new company policy, we don't like Jews. That's not how it goes. It's silent gaslighting. It's, you know, let's not listen to her ideas. Wait, Jim, what did you say? Was it the same thing? It's a great idea. If you don't think that that's happening, girl, buckle the fuck up. You're in for a very rude awakening like I got. Because up until I got that awakening, I was paying for half the dates too. Sometimes I was paying for the whole dates. And if they paid for the whole date, I felt guilty. I felt obligated to hook up with them or at the very least see them again. You know, and it was so, again, that was a quiet thing going on in my mind. They didn't say that to me. I didn't say it like consciously to myself. It was just this feeling, this instinct that I had that infected the rest of my behaviors. Well, I mean, I don't really want to go for another drink. I don't really want to go back to his place. But I mean, you know, he took me out to this nice dinner, blah, blah. All of this thought process was happening within a split second in my mind. It's like, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go hang out and watch a movie. It's because I felt obligated, because I felt like I wasn't worth the dinner that he just took me to. I've always said, when it comes to dating, I don't want to be treated as equals. I want to be treated much better. Because a man who is going to like, be like, yeah, you know, you should be treated much better. That's a man who knows the female experience. That's a man. Notice I'm not using the word boy. I'm using the word man, honey. That is a man who was raised by a boss bitch, who was raised by a good man. And they sat him down and they said, this is what the world is like for girls. This is how their experience goes. Your job as a man in the world is to empower them, protect them, cherish them, listen to them, be an ally, make them feel wanted, especially if you want to date them. Good God, you can't shell out $30 at cheesecake for a date. So, hopefully, I have convinced you that guys should be paying for the date. If not, here's an anecdote from a guy I spoke to about this. And this happened like right after college, and it like blew my mind, changed my entire perspective. Because I was like, oh, you know, like who pays? It makes me so nervous. I'm like, you know, I just like to split it, do the polite reach. Hey, like let's split this. And he's like, well, that's why they're not asking you out again. And I was like, wait. No, they should want to ask me out again because they see how like equal I am and how, you know, I'm not just a gold digger. And he's like, first of all, you don't come across as a gold digger. Second of all, whoever it is you're dating has no gold to dig. You know, they're like your age. So it's not even in their mind that a girl is using them for their money. They don't have any money. I mean, they just have like normal amounts of money. You know, it's not like you're out with Elon Musk and you're like, haha, I'm going to like take him for everything. Like, so guys don't really like think that. Especially if you're not like ordering bottles of Dom and like a lobster. If you're just like having a normal date with a normal person, you being a gold digger is not going to cross his mind. And then he said the most important thing of all. He said, when you split a check, that tells me as a guy, she just wants to be friends. It's very emasculating, very emasculating. I was like, no, guys don't think this. He's like, quality guys do. Guys who are raised right know that part of the courtship rituals in America is the man pays for the date. The guy picks her up. That's what she's comfortable with. He opens the door. He pulls out her chair. He takes her coat for her. I don't care where the society norms take us. That shit doesn't get old. You are hard-pressed to find a woman who doesn't want those things. And if you don't, girl, you need to get some self-worth. I know I'm worth a guy taking my coat, opening my door, making the reservations, making plans, texting me at an appropriate time to set those plans so I'm not like in a spiral all day being like, well, I don't know, it's almost 6 o'clock, I haven't heard from him, are we doing something or not? That's the worst feeling in the world. I am worth that. That doesn't make me less of a feminist, it makes me more of one. Because I know my value. Feminism is about knowing who you are, knowing what you deserve in this life, knowing your worth, and wanting to pass on that feeling of empowerment to other people, lift other people up, guys and girls, gay and straight, trans and cis, all of us. Big enough table, everyone gets a seat. But if you start to devalue yourself and you think, well, I gotta pay for half this date, honey, that's not feminism. That's more oppression. That's the patriarchy saying to you, yeah, you need to pay for it because what the fuck have you brought to the table? We're equals here. No, we're not. Like I said, in society doesn't treat us as equals. We're physically vulnerable. We're financially vulnerable. Politically, we're just getting screwed 6 ways from Sunday. And like I said at the beginning of the video, we don't bring equal things to the table. I paid. I bring things that a man is never going to bring. Not even the most high maintenance guy in the world has as many shoes as I do. You know what I mean? He's not doing his makeup. He's not getting a blowout. He's not getting waxed. And we didn't even talk about that, girls. I mean, that's a whole different thing. So once again, let a man acknowledge your efforts. He does that by taking you on a proper kind of date that is planned, coordinated, paid for by him. You bring something different to the table. So that's, I know what you're thinking now. It's like, okay, well, I don't just want to like sit there like an asshole. You don't. To show that you value him and that you appreciate his efforts, you know what you do? You say thank you. People just want to be recognized. This is the human condition. People want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. So tell him that during the date when you sit down, be like, I'm so excited you took me. Even if it's a place you've been 1,000 times, even if it's not someplace fancy. Be like, thank you so much for planning this. I love it when like you plan things, you always have such good ideas. It just makes me feel really special, like thinking about you, thinking about this and like, coordinating this. I just really appreciate it. He's gonna be like, it's gonna like ruffle his like gentleman tail feathers. And he's gonna be like, good. And that feeling is going to reinforce his behavior. And he's gonna wanna do it more because he's gonna remember that like, that masculine ego macho feeling. And he's gonna wanna feel more of that. So he's gonna do more of this behavior, which you're in turn going to reinforce positively, right? So when the check comes, this is what I do. This is the second half of the video. What to do when the check comes. Like I said, this is stuff I still struggle with, you guys. Like, I go into these situations, sometimes I have to like give myself these kinds of pep talks to be like, it's okay, you don't have to pay for this date, you don't have to pay for these drinks. My friend taught me to do this. When the check comes, she literally says, she's like, would you like me to do the polite reach? Like, we're gonna split it. And the guy, it just kind of diffuses the situation. Like, he'll laugh. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, no, like, this is on me. But what if? He's like, yeah, let's split it. I don't protest. I don't bat an eyelash. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I never speak to that trick bitch again. Never. There's no nightcap. There's no, let me walk you to, no. Oh, I gotta go. No. And once or twice, I've had a guy like follow up because he probably didn't know. He probably wasn't doing it to send a signal to me that he didn't want to see me again. He's just poorly bred, He's just uncouth, ill-mannered, and ungentlemanly. Really. So when a guy like that, and I told you I've done this, they followed up, it's like, I want to take you out again. I have said like, oh, I didn't think that you felt that way about me because you were so insistent on us splitting the check. That's really more of a friend move. And the guys were like stunned. But like, bro, this is the case. And remember I told you my guy friend how he told me it was emasculating and just wanted to be friends? That was his big point, remember? Friends split checks. Buddies, pals, coworkers split checks. Romantic people don't. That's a big marker for guys. And that's not like a new thing. This is how they've been raised. This is shit their daddies taught them, their granddaddy. Like, this is generational, and it should be, because this is correct. So I do the polite reach. 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, absolutely not. No, I like taking you out. And then you acknowledge them again. You thank them again. You're like, thank you. That's really sweet. I really enjoyed our date. Then if you're still having this guilt, like, oh, you know, like I'm panicking. I know maybe he's in college, doesn't have a lot of money, you know, that's stressful. Remember this, ladies. Dating is like anything else. You have to be able to afford it to do it. I love to ride horses. Riding a horse is when I'm at my absolute happiest, but you know what I can't afford to do? Ride a horse. I can't afford to own a horse. They're expensive. So I don't break into stables and take them out because I feel entitled to ride one because I like it. Dating is the same way. If you can't afford to do it, you shouldn't. My mom made a good point to me when I was a kid, or like whatever, because she was giving me the talk about who pays for a date. She's like, Shallon, you date typically college educated white males in America. I guess I wasn't a kid. I was like 22, but she's like, they are at the top of the food chain. There's no reason for them to be poor. It's one thing if they're in college, you know, and everyone's kind of like financially in the same sort of like impoverished boat. I'll get to that in a second. But like, even so, like boys, white college educated males in America, there is nothing holding them back. No oppression, no history, like nothing, no glass ceiling, no underestimation. No, the world waits for white men to get it right again and again and again. They get an unlimited amount of chances in this world, unlimited amount of bites at the apple, all the benefits of every doubt. And I'm saying this because once again, things aren't equal. And white males should be earning fairly decent money. You don't have to be a millionaire. But that brings me to my second point. Say that you guys are in college and they're just like, you guys are kind of poor, you know, or you're fresh out of college. Hey, you don't need to be rich to date. Like I said, you need to date in a way that you can afford to date. I don't care if a guy takes me to Chick-fil-A, but I want it to be special. I want it to be intentional. I want him to send me like an e-card with chickens all over it and be like, Friday night is a Chick-fil-A down and dirty date. We're going to try one of everything on the left side of the menu, swap milkshakes, like make it fun, make it special, make it like an intentional date night. Make me feel valued. Tell me you put some thought into this. If all you can afford to do is make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for us and take it down by the lake, great. That sounds adorable. Bring some bread, we'll feed the ducks. I don't care. I'm not like a high-flouting bougie bitch. It doesn't matter to me, but it does need to be thoughtful, intentional, and meaningful. The dollar amount doesn't matter. I've had the worst dates in my life at the fanciest restaurants. I've had the best dates in my life sitting in a park with a bottle of cheap wine. You know? Do what you can afford. And acknowledge a guy's effort, you know? Reinforce that positive. So, he's paid the check. You're feeling good, but like not white woman, just take away the white woman guilt, just female guilt that he's paying, that, oh my gosh, he spends so much and blah, blah, blah. Be like, hey, do you want to get some ice cream? Or let's get a drink. Then you get the ice cream. You get the first round of drinks. Don't leave that tab open at the bar. Close it out. I always carry cash on a date so that I can do that. Like if I'm really feeling the need to like pay it back somehow, I'll go be like, first round's on me, and I will literally pay only the first round in cash so that if he wants another drink, he can buy it. Because like it's kind of smart to get a girl a little tipsy if you want to get a kiss at the end of the night, you know? I'm a little bit more loosened up. So overall, ladies, my point is, you have already paid. The amount of time and money you spend on your appearance, and make less money, by the way, far exceeds whatever a dude is going to spend at fucking cheesecake on you for that Cobb salad you ordered. So get rid of that guilt. You are worth it. You are a special girl, and you ain't no clearance rack chick, okay? You're not some clearance rack, gross, Bed Bath & Beyond, 20% off coupon kind of bitch, okay? Boys, number 2, want to do this. This is their show of masculinity. This is their show of usefulness. I've always said, it's true that women communicate to build relationships, men communicate to solve problems. Part of that problem solving is demonstrating their value as a protector and a provider. They want to take you on that date. Look at what I can do. Look at where I can take you. Look at how upwardly mobile I am and where I'm going in the world. Third, acknowledge their efforts. Positive reinforcement. That's going to make them feel good. They're not going to see you as anything even remotely close to a gold digger or anything like that. Be upbeat, warm, receptive, and appreciative. And then, if you really want to do something, next time you see him, bake him cookies. Cook him dinner. That's a great way to pay it back. I cook my boyfriend dinner all the time. I don't pay for a single date. I don't do that. But I come over, my apartment's beautiful. Like, I do his laundry sometimes. Ugh, too much of the time. But like, that's where my value comes in. So much of the time, women in society, what we contribute is like, it is invaluable, but it's also valueless. Look at being a stay-at-home mom. What's the price tag you can put on that? It's invaluable. And yet people look down on them because they're not contributing when they're raising children. The most awful job I can possibly imagine. Like, my God, you want to have mine, raise mine for me, and give them back when they're like 13 and interesting? So the things you give in a relationship have a value. They just don't have a dollar value. And don't get caught up in that price tag war. Okay? I hope this is helpful. Definitely chat me on Instago if you have more questions about this. If you're like some squirrely, creepy, basement-dwelling Comic-Con virgin man who's gonna scream at me in the comments, please just know I do report you for harassment and bullying, and I've gotten a lot of people kicked off YouTube. I'm not afraid to kick your ass off. If you have a thoughtful argument, feel free to leave it. If not, go scratch. So now it's time for happy ending. My favorite part, we get to talk about sex. So just let you know, I'm working on building my own app so that I can have not just little giblets of naughty talk at the end of these videos, but whole videos on blowjob tips, whole videos on how to have sex like that. Not like in a porny way, but I can't put it on YouTube because YouTube does not like that and they won't monetize my videos. It'll lower my rank on YouTube. So I'm not just like not doing it because I'm ignoring you or being a prude. I just want you to know, like, that's why. Today, we're going to talk about hand jobs. Hand jobs to me are very underrated. People like hand jobs. But like, I have a hand job technique that is going to blow his mind. And I have done this on 4 guys to completion, you know, which is a pretty good sample size. Pretty good. Okay. I call it the silky swirly. This is some Nivea body mousse lotion from Germany, just in case you want to buy it. Oh, by the way, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So I chose this because it's really dry and slick. Like, it's not sticky at all. First things first, you got to be kind of like, the guy's got to be laying here. This is the eggplant pointed up at him because hopefully it's ready to go and at attention. So he's laying down. You're sort of like sitting on top of his knees, you know? So you're like this. You're going to take your hand, blow on it. Make sure it's dry, dry, dry. No hint of moisture, no lotion, nothing. I know what you're thinking. Oh, is she going to tell us how to give a dry hand job? Because that sounds like a horror story. Yes, I am. And he's going to love it. I promise. You got to make sure he's super dry. No moisture, no anything. This is the best way to do it. Blow on him. That's going to feel good. When it comes to sex and hooking up, you have to remember, like, guys, when they touch themselves, it's very one note. You know, they very rarely change it up. There's kind of like a one sensation profile that they do. It's probably pretty hard and fast and weird. So if you can give him a different set of sensations, that is really going to blow his mind. So you're going to take your dry hand and his dry thing, eggplant, his dry Nivea mousse, pointing up towards his face, and you're going to silky swirl it. You're just going to run your hand so lightly over this. Just like, you know when someone just kind of tickles your arm, gives you tickies? It's like that, but it's eggplant tickies. And then you're going to start swirling around the head of this Nivea mousse. YouTube, we're just talking about the best way to get Nivea mousse out of a bottle. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving. And you're going to swirl around, swirl around, swirl around. And he's going to go crazy. The temptation is going to be to start to grab and do the typical Nivea mousse swirl. Don't do that. Keep this going. The definition of pleasure is not getting what you want right away. I mean, think about it. When it comes like saving up to buy something, waiting for that kiss. So he is going to be feeling this like anticipation, this crawl out of his skin sensation that he's probably never felt before. And he's not sure where this is going to go, if he's going to be able to cross the Nivea Mousse finish line or what, but he can. So then you want to concentrate right there on the nozzle of the Nivea Mousse, the most sensitive part of the Nivea Mousse bottle, okay? And you just kind of want to run your palm, again, really lightly over there. That is going to send him into orbit. You can even take your other hand and keep swirling on the bottom of the bottle of the Nivea Mousse and maybe cup the undercarriage of the mousse. But I would just stick with the silky swirly, okay? Try this. I mean, 4 dudes can't be wrong. It's a good sample size. Maybe I'll get out there and try it on a few more. It is the weekend. I got nothing to do. So I hope that was helpful. And also, I know you guys in my videos, you're always like, what lipstick you're wearing? What lip liner is that? I have actually just partnered with Amazon. I'm now an Amazon influencer, which means I have some storefronts set up on Amazon. I have my own store where you guys can purchase the products I mentioned in my videos. I have some beauty videos getting ready to come out. So I'm going to put all those products on there. I have a storefront about like my favorite sex products, like just my day-to-day makeup looks and stuff that we talk about in these videos. I'm going to put some Nivea Mousse on there because seriously, this is a really good thing to practice on. Like it's just the perfect sheen, the perfect bottle. And it's a really good hydrator too. I really like it. I got this in Germany, but they have it in America. So my lip look is actually Estee Lauder, the Estee Edit pencil. It's in shade 06 Nude Scene. I don't know why they call it Nude Scene because it's actually super plummy. And it's layered on top. On top of that is Buxom. Buxom has these new pillow pout. They're lip plumping powder. They're a matte lip plumper, which has never existed before in the world. It's amazing. They come in a billion shades. My highlighter, if you like that, it's new. It's NYX, NYX, Away We Glow in color Glazed Donuts. Ugh, I want donuts. So if you want to find these products and pick them up, they are under amazon.com/shop/Shallon Lester. Also, another quick tip for you, Plan B is $12 on Amazon. Boom! That's in my page too. See you later, Shalloners.